Hey everyone, welcome to my channel.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Hands in the stove, how the faucet's running and I keep looking at you.
Soulja, look, you can't forget that he like Mike. I feel like Calvin Cambridge. They looking mad, they hate it. I take your stock and raise it. It's so ironic they give flowers when you pushing daisies. Shit, I'm alive to smell it. In my pros, I weigh the cons no matter how you scale it. I hit the lick just like envelopes, I ain't have to mail it. This blackmail is excelling. My black ass been on the grind so long they can't derail me. You know I'm to get it done no matter what they tell me.
Welcome, you guys. Welcome back to the Pretty Candid Podcast. I am your host here, per usual, Marissa H. Recording here at m.a.de HQ. Thank y'all so much for letting me record today. So as you guys know, I love highlighting artists, curators, creatives all around the city. So we are doing our artist spotlight today. This is actually a return episode, very much long awaited.
Yeah.
I'm not even finna give too much riffraff. Let's just go ahead and welcome my guy, J Soulja in
What's
the
the
building.
deal? What's the deal?
Oh, my boy.
Man, I'm happy to be here.
No, I'm
For sure.
happy. I'm happy. And it's South by week too.
Yeah.
So like, what's the vibes? How you feeling?
Vibes is high, you know.
Yeah.
It's one of them times of the year where it's just a lot of moving pieces, a lot of people
For
doing
sure.
things, you know what I mean? So, you know, I like to always champion the fact that we do this shit year round. So
Yeah.
we kinda on some stay ready, so we ain't gotta get ready type shit, you know
The
what I
shit
mean?
show,
But
definitely.
yeah, we in the house, we ready.
You got like how many? You got events coming up? Show like how many shows
Yeah.
we talking?
We got 5 productions. So I'm doing shout out Marissa on this.
Yeah,
on
we
this
gonna
sip
get into
right
that.
here, you feel me? We doing three shows that I'm performing on and 2 productions that my team and I are producing in the Smoke Out and Fat Ass Rap Show.
Yes.
2 of our flagship showcases, you know, that we throw annually now, and like shit, we got a full week, you know what I'm saying?
Go up.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
finna go up in a real way.
For sure.
Okay, so you guys, per usual, y'all know I always give y'all Candid Cocktail of the Week. And so this here is inspired by my guest. This is the Follow the Leader, you guys.
Oh shit.
So in here, I put some Patron. Would y'all believe that? Patron, y'all.
Yeah.
I mixed it with a strawberry mixer. It has a little key lime in it. And I also put a little bit of like Grand Marnier in there. I'm going to put the recipe right here so y'all can follow it.
Bye.
It's okay. Is it a 10 out of 10?
Yeah. It's
Oh, it's
going
good.
on.
It's really a summer drink. I said, ooh, I might have to put this in a little recipe book or something.
Follow the leader, you dig?
Behind my boy. So okay, let's get into it.
Yeah.
You were here. We talked a lot of just about you as an artist, your early beginnings, and just how you just been excelling out the gate, right?
Yeah.
So since the last time we talked, what would you say has, I guess, changed over all this time? Because it's been a little minute now.
Yeah.
So what would you say has changed just with J Soulja? Like what's
I think my focus has changed. I think at the time that we were conversing over the pod, I was getting ready to drop From the Soul 2.
correct?
And From the Soul 2, since then, I've put out 2 more albums, you know. So last year was a heavy year for me as an artist. I felt like I checked every box that I wanted to check off as an artist last year, from going on tour, you know, dropping an album, dropping 2 more albums, you know, dropping on vinyl, getting my own day in the city, you know. A lot of things was checked out for me as an artist. So it's like, I think now my focus is a lot more on my infrastructure and how my infrastructure can be not only of service to me, but to my peers and the people around me, and how I can continue to, you know, just build on top of the foundation that's already been laid down. Cause I've been active on this shit, you know, for a minute, you know what I mean? So I think right now I'm really kind of just dialed in on stepping more into the representative side, the
Yeah.
executive side, really kind of just embracing this wide open market here in Austin, and also embracing just the climate of where music is at right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I think a lot of people are kind of like just a little out of touch. A lot of the new artists, a lot of people not really understanding the war that's going on in the music industry as far as just what is the value of music, how much this shit really worth, with, just a lot of shit. So it's like, perspectively, it's like my goal to thrive in this new transitional phase of the industry is to, be able to be of service, more of service to my peers, and be more in a leadership executive role, and really try to create some thriving careers for a lot of artists, creatives, athletes,
Yeah.
in a lot of different ways. I feel like my forte in the marketing is solid. It's proven. So we just trying to diversify the portfolio and step into them fields for sure.
I think that you've done a great job of doing that. Since I've came across you years ago up until now, I think the most exciting thing to see in your journey is the consistency and progression.
Thank you.
It get real easy to kind of like maybe fall short or lack thereof, or even kind of just get, trick yourself out your own position. So
Right.
I always, me, I always love giving you your flowers because
Thank you.
it take a lot. I don't even know the half. But no, you literally have been put it on, and it's very exciting to see, just as a fellow
Appreciate
peer. I wanted to get into that too. So
Yeah.
I guess that's something we didn't get to talk last episode. How did you kind of go from like, ooh, I don't know if I'm just an artist no more. Like I'm kind of taking like leadership in the scene. Like what was that moment like? What did that look like for you?
I think when I did the first smoke out, I instantly knew what was missing. The smoke out is such a genuine symbol of bringing something to the table that you want to be the change of. Like, yo, be the change you want to see. Before I got my endorsement deal with Swisher Sweets in 2018, I was literally like Jamar was like the first person, Ill Manner Shows.
Yeah.
Shout out to my brother Mar.
Shout out.
Jamar, one of the first people who was like really booking me, for shows and willing to put me on shows and put me in positions that were reflective of my artistry at that point. So he and I doing the Swisher Sweets deal. Jamar was the one that facilitated that opportunity for me, and getting a genuine glimpse of just wow, like I'm coming into a space in business where I'm getting a genuine understanding of people who want to do business and what that looks like, and people who are expediting checks for you because they ready for you. Hey, we want you here. We want you. We showing you how bad we want you, and we genuinely like all those small, subtle things that you know you get to experience in this pathway. You start to run it parallel to your experience in your local scene, and you realize the lack of opportunity that these artists don't have. Like they don't have a lot of niggas don't get a chance to go in the green room. A lot of artists don't get to have a contract. A lot of artists don't get to even converse with the promoter who's putting the show together.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, I think it's very interesting, that a lot of the workflow that I've done from the smoke out, and like the first smoke out I threw was a sold out show. You know what I mean? And to like be in a space of like, all right, how can we keep doing this? And how can we keep making this happen? Transitioning into, yo, I don't want to dilute the space by me. I just headlined. How do
Yeah.
I do it again here in the next month or two? And started bringing that opportunity to my peers, and I'm selling out shows for Quinn and FN, for the Tita, for certified some of these Austin legends that are here, and this was like, damn, like nobody's really courting the artist like an artist. You know what I mean? Everybody's just treating artists like, yo, you just a space filling up the club or on the bill. And, it's very one dimensional in the transaction as far as how people are seeing and courting creatives here in the city. So we try to do, I just feel like I try to do in just my moral compass is to always just bring something to artists that they genuinely want to experience and genuinely want to be a part of. I actually feel like that and have confidence in the fact that it's taking them somewhere and it's not just going in vain and we not just doing this shit downtown
Yeah,
making
just to
y'all come
play.
pull up just to fuck around, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's just a lot of that for sure. Just the smoke out was a genuine step in that direction.
Because I think it's something to be said for, the big thing now is like visibility, visibility.
Right.
But I do think it's a good and bad visibility, right? Like you said, you kind of just there to fill up a time slot versus like, hey, we making sure the flyers is there, we making sure you get the right promo, we
Right.
kind of coasting you through it. So I think too, another thing is it seems so like I don't know what your power is behind it, but it just seems so effortless. Like it
Yeah.
just comes so natural to you. Like,
Yeah.
have you always kind of been like, I think I might want to do this? Like, I know you said at first, like, ill manner, but has it always been in the back of your mind, or were you kind of like, nah?
Well, my mom was the person like doing like when I was expressing my interest as a kid that I wanted to make music or I wanted to be in this industry. She always told me if you're gonna rap, get a trade. You know what I mean? So my trade in music was graphic design and marketing and
Right.
always finding ways that I can make myself useful in circles that I probably wanted to thrive in as a rapper or as a creative. You know what I mean? So I think overall just kind of like being of service and always having that mentality. It seems effortless because this is just who I am. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I'm
Right.
not no nigga not trying to be nothing that I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm coming as I am. I'm respecting niggas. I demand respect. And it's like sometimes you gotta just embrace the fact that some of these milestones and these things that you're gonna be achieving in this process, whether they're hard or whether they're easy, you gotta just be able to just embrace the experience overall. And I think
Yeah.
that that's just what I've always done is just I never like anytime this shit has gotten hard, because I've been through some of the hardest shit in my life. When I did the first smoke out, my son passed literally 3 weeks before the first smoke out. And like I wasn't throwing no pity party. Don't like I had to make a decision. Like, yo, is you gonna do this or is you gonna not do this?
Yeah.
And I think where a lot of people have made excuses for why they feel like they can't continue, I would like to always be a reflection of why you can, no matter what the fuck going on. I don't make no excuses for this shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I think that that's really developed a key ingredient that I give to that I express to a lot of artists that they should have, which is perseverance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of artists don't have that inside of them. That's some shit that you can't coach is perseverance. Perseverance is some shit that you only achieve through doing it. It's like I can't create a bicep on my arm without working it out. You know what I mean? Like it has to be worked on. And I think that the things that I've gone through in my life, the cards that have been dealt to me, you know what I'm saying? I've always leaned on my passion, my relationship with God, my understanding of who I am,
Yeah.
of how I can persevere through this to continue to make this an attainable, achievable thing, not just for me, because it should be bigger than me, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you doing business, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit, nigga, like when, it's companies out here, like when you trying to run a business, like, just genuinely, like I want to be a fucking multimillionaire, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, as a person who's cognizant of what that encompasses, like these companies that are running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they're going through things too. And they trap don't never stop.
Never.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like when you taking those things into perspective, like you develop a genuine force field to bullshit to make these things easier. And it's also peace of mind too. Like I had to develop a peace of mind to make this shit easier too. Like having peace in myself, it makes me think clearer. It makes like I have to pour into myself.
Yeah.
Like this shit that sounds easy is not really like ain't no strategy to this shit other than like, yo, I can't pour from an empty cup. So
Yeah.
I have to pour into myself. I have to find ways to thicken my skin and persevere through the things that I know the average nigga not really going through because they not trying to achieve the shit that I'm trying to
Yeah.
achieve
It's not the same
respectfully. Yeah,
path.
it ain't the same
It ain't the
path,
same path.
you know? And so that's pretty much, like my whole thing. My key ingredients to the effortless approach is I be really at peace, nigga. I be at peace and I know I got genuine perseverance and anything on top of that shit, nigga, I create like a motherfucker. I didn't put my 10,000 hours into this shit. So like
Really did.
I genuinely have a force field around the creative process. Like I can create it through any fucking circumstance. You know what
But
I
like
mean?
you said, I think like yo, perseverance and just being just a real stand up like nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Like
That is the key ingredient, and I feel as though that's been a lot of the reason why like you've had so many successes with shows and events and like even the newest, the
yeah.
newest project, the newest thing going on. Go ahead and tell us about it. I want you to give us your whole spiel.
Yeah. So we started the conversation talking
Yeah.
about just, where my new focus is at. And I did mention just being in the executive position. So me, my brother Jamal, my boy Buka, you just had Buka on a
Yeah.
couple weeks
Shout out
ago.
Buka.
Shout out to Something to Say. We created a brand new agency called the m.a.d.e agency. And m.a.d.e is an acronym, Makers of Art, Design, and Elevate. And what we
Like that.
provide is another acronym, which is a multidimensional artist development ecosystem. m.a.d.e, we the m.a.d.e agency. So these events and these experiences that we have been producing, our goal is ultimately is to develop the talent, represent the talent, and also put the talent in the experiences that we produce for them to be able to thrive. And that's the multidimensional ecosystem that we have is these productions and these creative ways to put artists in these genuine simulations and these moments that are stepping stones
Yeah.
at learning moments and a pillar to where they're going to be seeing success for their careers here in the near future. So we us being in the forefront to be able to go from something as entry level as an open mic with Buka as something to say, all the way to something as premier as a ill manner shows with Jamal or a South by Southwest stage with myself or anything in between.
Right.
We the voice from the bottom to the top now, not just from the bottom to the middle. You know what I mean? And we're able to court artists. What we're hoping for is giving the artist from 0 to 100, and we're ultimately, playing a role in that creatives or that athletes or that company's career. And having a within the agency, we've been able to bring on eight to 10 new interns, people who are offering their services uh from just believing in what we've been doing and
That's
what
what's
we've been
up.
building and wanting to be a part of it. And it's been an honor to work alongside these new peers that we have on our team, and just genuinely just taking the creative process to a whole nother dimension. I'm in a space where I'm directing shows now, like digital content. I'm producing digital content. I'm getting
Right.
into the streaming world. I'm getting into just different avenues of the entertainment spectrum that I feel like Austin in itself doesn't really get the opportunity to expose when it's being shaded in markets like Los Angeles, XYZ, all of these major markets. So I think for us, it's about just creating productions that cut through, which is why we say makers of art designed to elevate. Like we create this shit to elevate the experience, elevate the culture, elevate our peers around us, elevate the artists that are a part of it, and genuinely just putting things at stake, that isn't in the typical realm of the artist local scene experience that happens on a day to day.
Mm. I like that actually. I feel it. So let me ask you: would you say that May Agency is just strictly for like musicians, or would you say it's kind of open to everybody, or what would you say?
Yeah, nah, that's a great question. I mean, we want to be open to all creatives. We talked briefly off air.
Yeah.
I want to be able to help represent talent like yourself, podcasters, people who have great ideas, great shows, people who have great creative work, and you can even be a painter. And if you're looking for a way to market and reach people, and you're trying to create an experience around your product, like that's what we like to say our forte is
Yeah.
being able to curate experiences around product, go out, pitch value, send our team to bring that experience to life and ultimately just create this overall experience around whatever it is that you are encompassing as a creative or as an artist. We want to get into athletes. I've been sponsoring a young amateur boxer out of Florida for the past 2 years. Doing this thing. Just
Okay.
investing into hey, you need some new mouthpiece for the next round. You need boxing trunks. You need new gloves, whatever. I just shoot some bread that way on the sense of yo, in the grandiose, I see where this
Can go.
could go.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that because my goal is like I want to market events. I want to, you know, I would like to say like I want to be in a space where I can be like the Rich Paul of the rap game. Like Rich Paul is, LeBron's manager. He
Yes.
represent a lot of athletes, and
That's a
he
great
got,
example,
he,
actually.
and he has such a personal relationship with the athlete, and is so connected because you feel like you're speaking to somebody that's from your ilk. And I think that that's one of the genuine things that I bring to the table is like, yo, I'm an artist. I'm you. I know
Yeah.
what you're going through, and I want to facilitate things that I know could help you if you are open to it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And if you're reaching out to us, we want to be able to have an answer and have a trusted answer on top of that, not just some bullshit, an answer that's genuinely bringing value and helping you elevate your shit.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all please tap in. If y'all heard of the whole spiel, if you are artist, whether you not, anything, and even if you just maybe have a question trying to see where you fit in, definitely tap in. I think y'all are like three people that I would trust for something
I
like that.
appreciate
Like literally, because
Thank
you know
you.
how it gets. It get a little,
100%.
sticky sometimes. So
Yeah.
no, I think y'all three from top to bottom, that is perfect.
Thank
I'm waiting on that. I'm gonna come check some stuff
you.
out.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Really quick, I wanted to ask you this. So I
Mhm.
know that you've seen a slew of artists on all different kind of platforms,
Yeah.
right? So what would you say is the difference between when it comes to artists between like talent and actual like readiness?
The clear cut difference is entertainment
Mm,
because artists being a rapper is one dimensional,
right.
you know. And when you're doing shows, the show is essentially your physical pitch of your product. And the entertainment value is such an important component, and it lets me know if you're a star or not. Some of these artists can rap really well, but don't really have stage presence, don't really have a
Mm,
overall way of knowing how to maneuver and give a give and return on energy.
okay.
Artists are very singular in their mind. They might be thinking, "Man, I want to make sure I get all my lyrics right.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm moving around." Like they're thinking too much, and you can tell that when an artist is performing. So I think the entertainment value. How free are you on stage? Do I feel like have a connection to the material that you're putting out because it's effortless. I don't feel like you're trying, you know what I mean? And that goes back to what you were saying, like as far as what you asked me, like, and I responded like, yo, this is who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So think when you're thriving in who you are and you're thriving in what you want to become, whether no level, any level, like, and you're putting the work in, it'll show. You'll be confident in your work because it's almost like you're taking a test. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I know the answer, nigga. I'm finna.
I
This
got
ain't
this.
shit. Yeah, this
Yeah,
ain't.
yeah.
I know that. It's that is such a huge thing for me, and I look for a ton in artists. Is like, are you trying? Like, nigga, is you
I
like?
do not feel the
Yeah,
effort.
yeah. But in a good way.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be effortless, And when I ask, like, are you trying? Is me like, yo, you trying too hard. I can tell that you trying. You
Mm,
trying to convince me. I don't want to be. Don't try to convince me. You know what I mean? Like,
mhm.
I want to be convinced. I want to already be that. I want to already get a sense of that, from the artist. And I think it's difficult for a lot of artists at times because artistry plays such a huge role in identity. And
Yes.
it goes back to me mentioning, yo, knowing yourself. Who are you? You know what I mean? And being in tune with who you are. These things that everybody wants to get into the strategy of the rap game and how I can get streams and da-da-da, but like
Yeah.
none of that shit matters if the core of who you are is not intact. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
it's like Lauren Hill, how you gonna win when you ain't right within? Like
You hear me?
that type of shit. Like when you not right within, it doesn't matter what tool I give you, nigga. Like you're not in a spiritual alignment for whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And I think that that matters, you know, and I look for that in artists. I look for when I hear this music, let me hear where you pulling from. Where you pull? Do I hear pain? Do I hear texture in this music? Is there a feeling, an emotion that's being provoked when I'm
Yeah.
hearing this? Am I being provoked or emotionally provoked when I'm seeing you perform? Is it making me feel something? Is there something that I feel like I'm having a spiritual or energy connection? Because performance is such a ritual. It's such a you feel it. It's
Yeah.
a genuine thing. So it's like when I don't feel nothing, like you kind of toast.
Kind of to be like piggybacking off that. Recently I had went to Antone's and it was like Black Child, Los was there, Lynn was there. So I remember I got on for the last set and it was with Black Child, and I remember thinking like, you know, that was my first time running across, but I was like, you know, I feel like it's not one of those you're trying to get me to buy in.
I
I
love
could
Black.
just kind of already feel it,
I
right?
love Black.
And love and
Yeah.
instantly been on the radio on
Yeah.
Spotify the whole time. So, but I think that kind of goes to my next question. Do you ever feel like it's hard to, or do you tell them
Yeah.
that your music not good? Like, is that ever a
never hard.
conversation?
It's never hard. It's never hard.
Why?
Cause I'm being honest with you. You know,
Yeah.
I rather tell you the truth than anything. You know, shit. At the end of the day, this is my opinion. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, you know, I think that people have such a high respect for the opinion depending on who it's coming from. So my no compared to anybody else's
Else's
no
no,
might
yeah.
feel a different way. But I have to tell people what I think if my goal is to see you live off of this. You know, that's my goal for you is, you know, whenever I'm working with the artist, my primary goal is how can I help this person create a living off of their art? Because that was one of the biggest blessings for me was
Yeah.
the fact that I was, for like 3 years, I was living off of my art. I was paying my rent. I was paying my car. I was taking care of my daughter. I was living off of my art. And that is something that a lot of artists, if we're only looking at this thing through a one-dimensional lens, will never ever have the opportunity to achieve. And they won't have the opportunity to achieve it because they don't know how to make product, you know, and product is, you know, these companies spend millions of dollars to bring motherfuckers in a room to sit down and test this. Hey, test this product. Let's all sit around and try this new cereal bar or whatever the
Right,
fuck.
right.
You know, what do you think? Was it trash? The company doesn't get offended by you telling me it's trash or not. The company says, "Oh, perfect. Well, we'll go back and we'll tweak this product to make it digestible."
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of artists don't have a genuine gauge of their product because they're making art, and art is for you. There is no rules in art. Art is beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So it's like when I'm making art, I always tell niggas don't analyze and create at the same time. When you creating and you're doing art, it's for you. But when you put this shit out, it's product. So when you're sharing this shit, I'm going to tell you what I think of this product, not what I think of your art. I'm telling you what I think of this product. And I think that artists get so diluted because they don't understand the difference between art and product. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
Which is why you can be like, man, I hear this nigga, how he get famous? You know, how that nigga? Well, they don't have a genuine gauge on, they're not giving a fuck on when they creating this shit about it being product. They making this purely for themselves. It's an
Yeah.
art thing. And you know, when you start putting that out and people have a genuine gravitational pull to it, it's in the beholder of the people, the consumer.
Yeah.
You know, we can't really, there's no industry standard. That's why I say my shit is just an opinion. However, I'm giving you a genuine opinion based on what I see people are consuming and digesting in the product space. You know what I mean? So it's never about if you're trash or not. Like, you see trash make it all the time in your perspective. But
True.
at the same time, it's also, how is the trash making it? What are you paying attention to? The trash could be making it because the trash is being marketed right. It's almost like the leading motherfuckers. I think I'm such a like weird brain. I'm the type of nigga look at like, damn, who's the nigga? We got a green recycle bin in every fucking neighborhood in this bitch. It's a green. Who makes them hoes? Like, how fucking paid are they?
No, for
But
real.
like I provide this trash can. It's trash. You feel me? And I'm making millions of dollars, billions probably. So it's like when we think of these nuances of how to look at shit and how to look at what we look at as success or look at as whatever the case may be, it's like those are the things that we should try to put a lens on. And that's what I try to do with artists is let's look at this shit from a different way. How can we perceive how POV? What's if you only looking at this motherfucker from, you know what I mean? Like we gotta share this experience because now you're sharing it with me and now you're trying to share it with others. And you know, to even just go back to your question, like it's super easy to tell somebody I'm not fucking with this product, you know, because if our goal is to partner or get better or get to the next level, I got to do it and build it on honesty. I got to do it and build it on what I feel like is not making me feel anything.
I respect that because I feel like in the industry, granted, I just started coming across artists and stuff like that, so I don't know a lot. But from what I can tell so far, it be a lot of yes man stuff going on,
100%.
and maybe not so much in like the music scene peer wise, but maybe just like their own group of friends and things like that.
Right.
And so I always wonder, like you said, like okay, maybe it's not digestible right now, but you could go back to the drawing board, whatever. Do you feel like in those cases, like it's a like a one size fits all? Like, hey, if it's bad now, it might not be as bad later, or it might be just as bad. Like, do you feel like there's always room for improvement, or sometimes it's just like, nah, I don't know?
I think that there's always room for improvement.
Okay.
I think that this space is filled with new talent every day. You know what I mean? I was listening to somebody. They said that Spotify uploads 200,000 new songs every day.
Damn.
So if you think about that and how many new artists that there are, and you just think about just like the gauge in the totality of how new everyone is in the experience, like, I think people always have a room to grow. They always have a room. This is such an entry level space. I think where it's fucked up at is that the game has gotten to a point where you have so many people trying this space that they fuck up the value of the product and they fuck up the skill, the understanding that this is a skill thing. And when you lack skills, it is a tough space. Like, I'll give you just a genuine thing.
Okay.
Right now, we are in a war in music. When I mentioned that, I was talking about the war between the record labels and DSPs. DSPs are Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, digital streaming products, DSPs. So this war that's going on is about the value of music. Streaming has been hasn't been the proper ROI for the record labels. Record labels are signing artists, giving them millions of dollars in advance money, right? The record labels are paying the DSPs like Apple Music, Spotify to platform these artists that they're spending millions of dollars on advance money on. These artists are getting platformed on these playlists and they're getting millions and millions of streams, but they're not making any fucking money. They're not going gold. They're not going platinum. They're not achieving the things that are totally, making the music make sense. So ultimately now I have a beef as the record label with the digital streaming services. Like I have a problem with you guys because why I've been spending money with y'all, millions and billions of dollars with y'all, and none of our artists are going platinum.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Well, it happens because what's going down is that we have given leisure to the music industry for the consumer's sake. And what I mean by that is when you subscribe to Apple Music or Spotify, and I'm able to give you every fucking song that's ever created, then now you're making this easily accessible. And then on the flip side, there's the artist that's coming in, and you're making it easily for them to be in the same store as a top premier artist. If you think about the times we used to go to Best Buy as a kid, if you looked at the CDs, you couldn't even fucking fathom how a nigga got his CD in Best Buy. Like, you didn't know about
That's true.
distribution. You didn't know about, you were just like, yo, this CD isn't, like, okay, I'm getting a CD. You might not have even thought about it, but when you think about it right now, and you just recollect on going into spaces like Walmart, and think if you would have saw one of your homies back in like the year 2000 in Best Buy on a fucking CD rack, you would have been like, nigga,
crazy.
what the fuck, nigga? Like, you'd be losing it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's a industry standard.
Yes.
That is an industry standard to distribute. Mass distribution is an industry standard. So what the streaming services have done is they've made mass distribution totally attainable to a nigga that can get it out of his garage. And with that, the flux of music and the amount of artists that are able to come into the industry, you playing everybody get a trophy game. My music shouldn't be the same value as a Michael Jackson or as, these people who have proven industry legendary track records. There's no fucking reason why some of these, like that's like putting a McDonald's burger on a Ruth Chris plate. Like, it doesn't,
right.
What, nigga? Like, this doesn't make sense. So what that is doing is ultimately diluting the space. And as a consumer, I'm losing, my value in the music is depreciating. It's going down because it's so accessible. It's so easy for me to get this. In the past, I'd have to go buy my favorite CD from a distributor. I had to physically put work in to attain this item. And now it's not like that, and that's why you see a J. Cole doing an out the trunk. I'm going around selling CDs out my Honda. Well, it's because the DSPs are in the battle. And right now, they don't know how much music is worth. So it's up to the consumer. It's up to the artist to create a value on the music. And these artists are lost. And if I'm a brand new artist and I don't even fucking know that this is what's going on in the world, all I'm seeing is Say Cheese TV, how many streams and likes a nigga got. I'm gonna just say it respectfully, there are going to be a ton of fucking failures in the music industry. Like, in this next, there's the labels they're not even paying artists anymore. Like, there aren't these deals that niggas used to get, $1 million advance, all of this shit, nigga. I guarantee you your favorite artist has slowed down in such a totality rate, they probably don't even, it seems like they're probably just internet characters now. But it's because these record labels that are spending millions of dollars on making these artists famous aren't making the ROI. This shit is a business at the end of the day. And they're understanding that, and they're seeing that, we've wasted a ton of fucking money pouring it into these platforms like Apple Music, Spotify,
just to shit on us.
Just to, and it's an active learning thing, because where it was revolutionary first time it came out, coming off of shit like LimeWire, and you get Napster, and Napster was like ultimately the walk-in entry level of the streaming era. So it's like, when you think about these things and where we are now, like, the future of music has always come back to the niggas that can get this shit out the trunk. That's why Houston rappers you'll never see a broke Houston nigga.
That's
never.
True as hell.
You'll never see it. But why though? Why is because their entire lineage has been me doing D2C, direct to consumer. I'm going straight to you with this shit. You buy this shit out my motherfucking trunk, out my slab, nigga. It's a millions of stories of niggas. Hey, man, I probably got 1 million people who can tell me is Slim Thug or Lil Kiki or whoever the fuck, nigga, that I took a picture with this nigga and bought his album, or I'm buying screw tape straight from Screw House. These out the trunk methods are the genuine essence of how to create a customer in music. Jimmy Iovine, one of my idols in this music industry, is a music executive. He stated in the interview, he said, music is the only industry that doesn't have a customer. And it's like, damn. Nigga, like when you think about that shit, it's like the streaming services have a customer, the movies, like the artists don't have a customer anymore because of the streaming service. We don't have that analytical understanding of who our purchaser is, because they all stream it. The DSPs own all of that data. So it's like, who is our fan? And that's why these new deals are coming around, where a company like Universal Record Label is just did a deal with this platform called Even. Even is famous for La Russell and them
Yep.
doing the deal and doing their direct to consumer platform, even though that Bandcamp has been here forever. But Even is now doing in the bed with a major record label like UMG, and that's totally based on the industry knowing like, we have to get back into creating cult followings around our artists. The only thing that's streaming well and servicing well is old catalog, meaning that people are only listening to songs that they like or the songs that they fucked with. Like nobody's making hit records no more. The space is too diluted. The music is too accessible, and we've totally lifted the veil on the industry by making social media such a thing. And all of these artists are living out. People are realizing niggas is really broke, niggas is really hoes, niggas ain't really street niggas. So when you lift this veil off of the superhero, it also dilutes the artist as well, which is why the last thing that you can be is your motherfucking
Fucking
self.
self. Question, right? Because now you got me thinking. So I know you were saying like J. Cole doing the whole like buy out the trunk thing. So at that point, right? Because I think even myself, like I might be a little naive. I think at one point I was feeling like, oh yeah, if I stream this, you're getting love on the back end, and maybe it's not going like that, right?
Right.
So at that point, do you feel like community around the artist is super important for instances like this? Would you say, right?
1,000%.
Yeah,
It's one of the most underrated skill sets as an artist, is creating a community, and creating. That's what we provide, is we create experiences around product. Experiences brings in people who want to be a part of your community. They have to experience you first. They have to experience this product. So when people come and they see Marissa at the podcast space, and they see the cameras and they see the vibes, and you're bringing them into your experience, people have to see this. People should see this live in person so they can be a part of what you're doing. Like, that type of shit is the way that we graduate the consumer from a supporter to a purchaser.
For sure.
And it's all about the community. I believe the things that you can do to develop a culture in buying with someone is commonality, communication, and community. It's the 3 C's. I believe in that. The 3 C's: commonality, communication, and community. I will start with communication first. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we have in common. What is my communication with the consumer base? What is my communication with the people who want to work?
Right.
Once I have the conversation, I'm starting to figure out what's our commonality. You know what I mean? I'm seeing what we got in common. I'm gonna reach out to the people that we got things in common with, and I'm gonna bring you guys here to start being a part of my community. You know what I mean? Because now we're together because we done had a conversation. We found commonality, and now we have this community that we're building on having an understanding, which is why commonality is the key root thing in the middle, because people in this artist space try to be so mystique and so separated from niggas. And it's like, nigga, how can, you know what I mean? Like, you go to an artist and you're trying to get to know, and I learned this the hard way. I remember when I was, I had went viral with TDE. This was like right before the pandemic. I'm viral. I'm getting a lot of traction. A lot of people are fucking with me. And I wanted to play like the mystique role. And I only had like my TDE viral video on my Instagram page and like one other picture. So Revolt picked me up off of the TDE video. And they did like a little drop where they found like, I'm discovering new artists on Revolt TV. And I found this guy named J Soulja. I went to his page to learn about him, and I ain't really know much. I'm talking about she's saying this shit. This a A&R saying this shit on Revolt TV, trying to figure out who the fuck I am, and trying to tell people who I am, trying to gas me up to the people that you should fuck with this nigga. And I only got 2 pieces of content on my Instagram at the time, and I'm trying to be mystique. It doesn't work, and we have to be more multidimensional in the way that we can engage in our conversations to build community and be vulnerable in the space to be able to bring people into what we got going on.
I think that's definitely important. I think honestly, not even with just like musicians, artists, and stuff like that. I feel like that go for really anything that you're
Facts.
trying to do. And I think as much as people, I won't even say just in Austin. I feel like it's just a thing. I feel like people want to be able to say like I did it
Mhm.
or I figured it out. But like it ain't nothing like have a community behind you or like me and you was just
Yeah,
talking and
facts,
you like
facts.
I got you. So
Yeah.
it's just something to be said for that. But like now that I know that, like I feel like I just want to buy everybody album now.
Nah,
'Cause
it's the
I
truth.
feel shitty because I'm like, yeah, I'm streaming this shit. That don't mean nothing for you though.
Yeah,
Like,
but see, on the flip side, it's like you want to support. A lot of artists don't got shit you can buy. You feel me? And that's the tough
true.
thing. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, imagine you saying that, and the artist is only thinking about, I gotta get some shirts made. And then they get depressed because they're looking at how much shirts cost to get made and the style that they want to look, and they're like, fuck, I can't make that. I don't have the capital to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, how can we create product? It is a very just, it's a dope way, man. I think the people who do it the best are like Currency, Larry June. I was just telling Buka not too long ago. I was like, man, that nigga Larry June got his own dog leashes, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, when you think about that, and when you know yourself, when you know what your ecosystem is involved in as an artist, yo, I'm Larry June. I like oranges. I got, juices, yee all that
Peas,
shit, like
all
like
that
all that. You feel me? Like I add this to my products, and now I'm moving product, and I'm using the music as a great bridge for the product that people want to be able to join my community in. You know what I mean? So I think that those are the things that we have to strive for as artists for shit show. That community aspect, getting people involved with just buying the work straight from us.
Buy the product, y'all.
Buy it.
Please.
You feel me?
Buy the product. You love the artist, buy the product.
On my
But
mama.
also artists, give us some product.
You
please.
dig? Yeah, we got to do our part too.
I
Facts.
need it. I need
Come fuck
that.
with the m.a.d.e agency.
Okay. Yeah, that part.
On my mama.
Okay, so let's go into this. So I've always wanted to ask you this, right? So does any pressure come with like, let me figure out how I want to word this. So would you say like being seen as like a pillar in your city, do you ever feel like any pressure, whether it be social or just from yourself, while being that? Like,
Hell
is
yeah.
that rough? Is that hard? Is it just like, it's whatever?
It'd be a lot of social pressure. A ton. Like, it's definitely something that I deal with in my, behind closed doors, because on top of you wanting to bring what you want to bring to your people, you also deal with ego as a creative.
Man. Yeah.
You wanna make sure that you're doing the biggest and the best shit. You deal with people not understanding you because you conducting business. I deal with that a lot. It's a lot of people who feel like I'm their enemy because I told them no before. And it's trash. Like, it fucks with me a lot. I go back to you asking me about, hey, how you tell a nigga music trash? Like, damn, nigga, I'm trying to help.
I fuck with you. I can't. That's
facts.
fine.
Or if a nigga, nigga might want to do a show, and I tell him, nah, this ain't the time, or whatever. A nigga, man, you learn so much about niggas in this game when you tell people no. I'm not no yes man. You feel me?
Right.
So, and I think that that's another thing that, I find myself in a real isolated space because, like, I stand on certain moral compass and certain principles as a man that sucker shit. Once I sense it, I don't really be around it. But it's like I'm around it off of GP because of what I'm indulging in. This is the shit. This is the world that I'm in. You feel me? So it's like the social pressure be a lot. You know what I mean? And it's also like shit at home. Like you got standards. I wanna do shit for my daughter. I wanna get a house. I want to be able to just pour into my family a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
So it's like a nigga had you fucked up because you got standards about some shit that they want to be involved in, and you got to be like, while I fuck with you, you might be a good ingredient over there, but over here, like, it don't really fit the palette that we making. And, a nigga might look at you a certain kind of way for that, And at the end of the day, I feel like one of the things that I feel like I feel like I'm siphoning through these questions that you asking me, like going back to one of the first questions is like that changed me for sure. Is like, I definitely have embraced being the bad guy a lot later. Like
Really?
a lot better. Yeah, like that used to bother me. That people used to be like, man, I don't fuck with Soulja because I'd be like, damn. I used to be a nigga that'd be like, why?
Yeah,
You
like,
know,
I
like,
ain't did nothing.
no, I ain't
Yeah.
did shit. Like, but now, like, I don't give a fuck.
What the fuck can I
It's
do?
so freeing that I don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah.
it is the best thing that I could have ever done for my peace is to just genuinely say that I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I give a fuck so much that I don't give a fuck.
Especially about this.
Yeah. Because my fucks that I give are so valuable. The fucks that I really just give a fuck about, if I choose to give a fuck about this shit, it's gonna come from a space in a vein that is totally allocated for the things that I really give a fuck about. You know what I'm saying? So if it's like, when people are like I've learned to accept criticism better. I've learned to accept people's word of mouth on who they feel like they think I am. You know, like I've embraced this and I've loved it because it was something that was very hard for me, you know, just growing up, just doing this space. You try so hard to be accepted by people. You know, you want to find your tribe. You want to, you know, and all of these things. And as you start stifling and being a part of different friend groups and being around certain, you just realize, man, I got a moral compass that just don't align with
Don't
niggas.
align with that shit.
And it's okay to not be everybody cup of tea. You feel me? And I think that that's been a blessing for me to embrace the fact that, yo, I'm not for everybody, but my intentions and my love for this shit is for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I always just lead with that. I'd rather a nigga hate me for bullshit than them being a part of an experience that I put together and they like, yo, that product was terrible, or that event I felt disrespected, or I felt like I wasn't considered. Like that is something that I care about way more than a nigga not liking me because I told him no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's kind of how I
Yeah.
be rocking now. Like I always say, like I can change the day, but I ain't gonna change on my discernment.
On my
Like,
mama.
If a lot of stuff, that's really what it be. Like people be feeling like, oh, you picking and choosing, or you doing this, you doing that. No, I'm literally going with where I've been and where I'm at now, and I'm making that decision off
Yeah.
of GP. Like so. I be
Boundaries
already knowing.
on my
I
mama.
think too, another thing is like, I've heard this a lot ever since she was on the show. And it's like, you be having people that are very reputable on there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Let
like, I think
go.
so too, you know?
You know what I mean?
And so like, back to what you were saying, like how people care about your opinion. So perception is everything, right? I think too, because I've been in your space where I feel like, damn, like I ain't going against this shit. It's the wrong timing or whatever the case is. And I think sometimes people might take yo no as like the ultimate no.
Yeah.
Or they feel like super diss. But whole
Yeah.
time, like it's a reason, it's a method to the madness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
People
Yeah,
just
nah,
don't
facts.
get it.
Facts.
That's all.
Yeah. It's tough.
We on the same page.
Nah,
So
facts.
we almost done here, but I have this question
Yeah.
because I kind of don't know. So to me, Austin's always been really known for like music, live music, and things like that. But to me, in my opinion, it seems like there's like a fighting space for like hip hop, rap, R&B artists, right? And so I want to know, to you in this day and time right now, do you start to feel like the music scene in the city with those particular genres are starting to shift? Or would you say they're like just about the same? It's not really any progression there. I know.
I'm gonna just say that we the ones.
Oh God.
I'm gonna just say that we the ones. I think that we the ones that's changing the narrative. I think that we the ones that are pioneering the shift in music here in Austin. I believe that me and my people are doing the most impactful, most creative shit here in the city. I believe that we doing things that don't follow anybody trends but our own. I believe that we're doing the things that are proper representations of the hip hop that we feel like the people want to receive in the city.
Absolutely.
I feel like, you know, the only progression, I feel like we're the progression. I believe that when I'm looking at the landscape of where things are at right now, I believe that we lead the landscape. I believe that we control the weather out here for hip hop and R&B. I believe that. I believe that we've done this in a very genuine way and etched out our own way in the culture for Black people to thrive, for independent creatives to thrive. We've been able to have the blessing to be side by side in productions with people like Where Y'all At Though, Auntie's House,
Yeah.
these pillars of cultural experience, and we're handling our own lane in the music, and we're able to pair with other Black people that share the same care, all the vibes. My boys over at Busy Signal, Ashmar, all of the homies that care about culture here, we are the change. So when a motherfucker speaks about the city in a certain kind of way, I be like, I don't know what you see. You feel me? Because we a part of the change. We doing the change. I don't be getting caught up in what a nigga feel like what ain't. We what is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Hey,
I can't even, we doing everything that we feel like we want to do. We thriving. We working with commercial entities. We making people believe in what we're doing because it's undeniable, because it's courted with a care that is unlike what other motherfuckers in the city are trying to do. And I believe that the culture is thriving as long as we in the driver's seat. That's what I believe, and I believe that it's only gonna be bigger and greater things that's gonna come here to the city of Austin, on our watch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On the people that I mentioned watch. We the new leaders, and I believe that I'm one of the new leaders. I'm one of the new faces of the city, and I'm in the era right now where I'm embracing that. I'm embracing that, I am the leader of the culture when it comes to hip hop. I don't like
Is
it ain't about who did it first. We doing it right.
Doing
we
it
putting niggas
right.
on. We putting people in position. We putting people in situations that they ain't never been in as artists. We not playing favoritism. We not playing homie games and the circle jerk and everybody. Hey, you're good. So if you tell me I'm good, then we'll.
Yeah,
We ain't doing
hell
none of
no.
that weak ass shit. Hey, it's either you got it or you don't. And we playing the game to win the game. We playing the game to be the best. So it's like we the best coming out of Austin, and that's with that being said, I feel like the city is on the greatest trajectory that it's ever been in this new era that's coming into the city for shit show.
Definitely on the up and up, and I would say y'all definitely them ones.
Thank you. I
Definitely,
appreciate it.
thank you. I appreciate that because I like I said, what's crazy about that question was I had it in the back of my mind from a while ago, but I just wanted to see what she was gonna say. But when I think about the music scene, literally everybody we done named so far on this interview, that's who I think about. Like Ill Manor for sure. I randomly seen him at the show at British Street, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this okay, all
Yeah.
right, cool. Like just cool ass niggas with a plan and a vision.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And
it's
like
a
really
blessing.
putting it to the cement. And a lot of people don't do that. And it's
Thank you. It's a
Yeah,
blessing.
it's a blessing for sure.
We super appreciative for it.
I'm happy. I got one last question.
For sure.
Very reflective.
Yeah.
So when people talk about J Soulja, right?
Mhm.
Like 10 years from now, let's say, what do you hope that they would say or say that you changed or had impact on?
Everything that I just mentioned
I
in
knew
the
you was
question
gonna say
before.
that shit.
Yeah, like the culture, like Austin lacks so much identity. We are in the shade of Houston and Dallas. And,
Yes.
it's like, we've had the blessing to be able to see an artist like Quinn and FN touch new heights in hip hop.
For sure.
And congrats to my boy Quinn.
Shout out
I think he
Quinn.
just got a new deal not too long ago. And Quinn is, where he was a lot younger in the peak of his career. It's like, us having that pathway to what can help us elevate, us seeing that that's achievable, it sparked a huge. I saw everybody wanting to be like Quinn, and that's a blessing.
Yeah.
And I think that the city needs to see more of that in the hip hop space for us. And I think that it's also about us recreating what's achievable in this new space of music.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be orchestrating that. We're going to be showing artists different ways to achieve, because everybody's not going to be a Quinn in FN. He's a one of one. You know what I'm saying? Like Quinn is is a rare breed. Everybody's not gonna be a J Soulja. Everybody's not gonna be a Y2. You know, somebody that niggas don't even know who's probably one of the biggest artists, if not the biggest, to come out of the city. And niggas wouldn't even know his name. Like, and my nigga Y2 is one of them ones. So it's like, I've made it my duty to work with anybody who's had an impact on me in this culture coming up in Austin. I've put them on the stage. From Team Next, my boy the Tita, like when niggas was doing Team Next in high school and you know, we seeing niggas in the Perp and Turk, like that's the reason why I was like, yo, we gotta do a smoke out for the Tita. We gotta pay homage to these people that played a role in my understanding of music. How can we pay homage? My boy Who Killed Kenny used to go by Kenny G. I tell niggas all the time, man, that's the nigga who showed me how to perform. He the nigga who showed me how to do marketing. He like that was the first nigga I saw make, like we was making money off of creative thinking in high school. He younger than me. And it's people that are out here who just, you know, who don't have that understanding. So it's like, when I think about what I want people to reflect on me is reflect on the wave of experience and opportunity that I'm bringing to the city, that I've always brought to the city for damn near a decade. I want people to reflect on my character, my moral compass, my character is somebody, anytime you meet me, you feel a little bit of God, a nigga who believe in God. Not you know, in a way that I am God, but from a sense of like, man, like I run my moral compass and my understanding so adjacent with my spirituality. I want people to have a godly experience with me at all times. And for that, my name is blessed. My child's name is blessed in rooms that she ain't even walked in. I'm blessed in rooms I ain't even walked in. You know, I want people to remember my legacy. You know, I want people to remember this for sure, that I am one of the coldest niggas to ever fucking live and breathe to come out of this city.
Oh, God in heaven.
Listen.
Uh-oh, the shades come off.
I am the greatest, the coldest nigga to ever come out this motherfucker on any level. Hip hop, rap, business.
Talk your shit.
Anything you niggas want to talk about. I'm one of the coldest to ever do it out of the city. And I'm from your city. And you should embrace that I'm one of yours. You feel me? Because I embrace it that y'all are a part of my legacy and the things that I got going on. So I just want to genuinely let every nigga know, anybody know, any nigga who thought otherwise, that we the ones, which is why I wanted to come into the ones.
And that you guys, that is J Soulja.
You feel me?
Y'all, you know, this has been fun. I really
All the
want
time.
to say, we have a time every time, but you know, I done got a little fancy now. I got drinks and
Real
stuff.
ones? Yeah.
No, but I truly want to say thank you so much for making time to come. Please let them know where they can find you, all of that, if y'all don't know already.
Yeah. You can find me at official J Soulja on Instagram, social media, whatever you want. Make sure you follow us. The m.a.d.e agency is at m.a.d.e agency, m.a.d.e agency. Tap in with us. Follow the Pre-Raw ATX page. Follow Something to Say. Follow Ill Manner Shows. We the ones, man.
Period.
Fuck with us. Thank you, Marissa, for having me. Genuinely.
Thank y'all. Y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all done got to the end. Make sure to hit that bell. Subscribe if you hadn't. And we gonna see y'all next time.
Peace.
Tap in with us for South by. We gonna see y'all.
South by.
Hate me, really love me, cause they clone me. Highest form is to inspire. I got writers and for lifers. Ho, fall for anything if you don't stand for what you're writing for. I've been running.
Focus on me. Can you focus on